Alright, so this is solving multi-step equations notes. Yesterday you did 1 and 2 steps. Actually, this is also a set and proportions. To show you how to do proportions yesterday with the equations. It's probably easier in some cases. Alright. Up at the top, it says steps to solving multi-step equation. And it also says a helpful hint. I talked about this yesterday. Think about doing PEMDAS backwards. It's essentially what you're doing. You're undoing the PEMDAS, the order of operations, to solve an equation. So first you distribute if necessary, combine like terms, and solve. The first one, there's no parentheses in there, so there's no distribution that we need to do. But we do need to combine like terms first. Find your like terms. 9x, negative 7x, and then you have plus 1 minus 5. And combine your like terms. I'm going to rewrite it. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just combine it if you know how to do it without it. But some of y'all need it because based on what y'all did, and once again on that baseline, you need to rewrite first and then combine your like terms. Just based on your performance. Just like so after you regroup your terms, you got 9x minus 7x, which is 2x. 1 minus 5, which is negative 4. And then equals negative 20. Once you get to this point, if you make it to this point, you should feel comfortable. It's just a two-step equation. You're solving for the variable x. So you need to be moving everything away from x. Move the 4 by adding it to the other side. Plus 4. Cancels here. 2x, bring that down. Negative 20 plus 4 is negative 16. Then from there, divide 2. Should be easy for you. Negative 8. Like I said, if you use the solving equation a certain kind of way, drawing a line, boxing your variable, all that, keep doing that if you taught you that last year. I was polite to those kids last year, and I used to do it for them, that little blocks and stuff. You know, I mean, that's childish to me. Y'all, if you want to do it, that's fine. I'm just not going to. Number 2. Couple things you should notice about number 2. First, you should see distribution in your equation. Then you should also see that your variable is on the right side of your equation. So that means you should be moving everything to the left. First, you need to distribute. 91 equals negative 21a. And then negative 7 times negative 1. This is something y'all mess up at. Y'all do negative 7 times 1. This is times negative 1. So negative 7 times negative 1 should be positive 7. That sign is going to change. You don't do that, you're going to throw your whole equation off. Always carry the sign that's in front of your term. After that, two-step equation, it should be easy for you to solve. Moving everything to the left. Subtract 7. Subtract 7. Cancels. 91 minus 7, 84. Equals negative 21a. And from there, we divide by negative 21. Cancels. Negative 4 equals a. And if you want to flip it around, make yourself feel more comfortable, a equals negative 4. Alright. negative 3 ahead of me. Try number 3 without me. And this one you should notice that you got distribution, then you have to combine like terms. You cannot combine like terms before you distribute. Do the distribution first, write it, then combine like terms and solve. What you got, Easton? You finished? What you got?
I got M equals 87.
M equals what?
87.
Kobe, you got something different than that?
Yeah. For number 3, right? Yeah. M equals negative 16.
I'll go with that. Oh, well, I got I got M equals negative 16. Did my distribution first, rewrote my equation, then I combine 4m and negative 15m, negative 11m, minus 50 equals 126. Add 50 to both sides. Negative 11m equals 176, divided by negative 11. Not good on that. That's why. I'll do 4 with you just because I know a lot of y'all make a mistake right here at the beginning. Number 4, you got 2 sets of parentheses, so you got the distribution you got to do twice. You got negative 3 right here that needs to be distributed into the parentheses. The problem occurs right here with some of y'all. It's a negative outside, or it's a minus sign outside this parentheses. With the parentheses there, you still treat everything in the parentheses like a term or a variable. The reason I'm saying that, y'all forget to distribute this negative sign into the parentheses. If you even have to, it's good. The same way we do when there's nothing in front of a variable. If there's nothing in front of your parentheses, you can put a 1 there. So you can see, you're really distributing a negative 1 into that parentheses. A lot of kids forget to do that, and if you don't do that, you're going to change your answer completely. You distribute -1 into the parentheses on this one right here. It's going to change. Somebody said what? What's the question?
No, I already know that.
All right. So make sure you do that. If you don't, you're going to throw your answer off. So then after that, it's be written as 3K, or -3K, and then positive 24, and then negative K. You can put negative K or -1K, whichever one makes you feel more comfortable. I'll do 1K for y'all. And then -5 equals 23. You can regroup if you need to. I'll do it for you. I'm teaching you that way. Whenever you move stuff, make sure you move the sign with it. I moved 1K to the front, so I put the negative sign with it. I'm moving 24 back. It's plus 24 minus 5 equals 23. So now for me, it's -3K minus 1K, -4K. Positive 24 minus 5, so I end up with positive 19 for me, equals 23. And then from there, like I said, if you can make it to this point, you two-step. Minus 19, minus 19, and 4K equals 4, divided by -4, K equals -1. Moving on. Questions? You shouldn't have any. It's straightforward. Just follow the rules of the equation. You can't lose. Translate and solve. This stuff y'all have problems with because we got a little bit of a reading issue. Let's translate and solve. This is an equation that's just written out. They want you to write it and solve it. It says 5 times the difference of twice the number and 3 decreased by the sum of a number and 8 equals 13. Well, I'm sure most of y'all know the ending, at least equals 13. You can't get that wrong. It's how to write everything else you may have a problem with. So I'm going to go in and put symbols on stuff that I know. It says 5, that's my value, times, put a dot here, times the difference. What's difference mean? Subtract. It says of twice a number, so 2 times a number. What would a number represent in the equation? It's the variable x, right? Twice a number and 3. Then it says decrease. What does decrease mean? Subtracting 2 by the sum of. I'm sorry. By the sum of. Hold on here. No, the sum. What's sum mean? To add of a number again. So that's our variable x and 8. Equals 13. And we don't need to write 13. So, translating that into, mathematical stuff. Now we just need to write it how it should look. It says 5 times the difference of twice a number and 3. So that first part should look like this. 5, and then in parentheses, 2x minus 3. Okay. And now I want to show you that. That should make sense for you. 5 times the difference of twice a number and 3. It's 5 times the difference of twice a number and 3. Then after that it says that's being decreased. And we said that's subtraction. By the sum of a number and 8. So that's being decreased by, and in parentheses, the sum of a number, which is x, plus 8. And then all that equals 13. as the equation, you should be able to write based off of what they wrote in words there. And then after that, you solve. I wrote it for you, you solve it. I just talked about, you got just a negative sign in front of the parentheses. You should be able to handle that now. Yes. Language, man. You're lucky my video on call. Do that no more, dog. Sorry, what you got, man? Huh? Alright. I'm waiting for 5 numbers. Words should look somewhat like that. Alright. Back. On the back, we're talking about steps to solve equations with variables on both sides. So, you got variables on both sides. You want to distribute if necessary. Combine like terms on either side of the equation. And then after that, move the variable to one side of the equation and then solve. I'll do number 6 with you. So there's no distribution that needs to be done. All the terms on each side are combined together, so it's all good. One thing I need to do is get the variable to one side of the equation. Now it's up to you how you want to move your variable. I always tell the kids that I move my smaller variable, and I always try to move the one that's going to keep my variable positive too. If I move that 5, that's going to turn my variable negative, because I have to subtract 5, and it's going to be 3 minus 5 is going to give me negative 2. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep my variable positive, so I'm going to move that 3y. Subtracting 3y on both sides. That's where some of y'all get mixed up. I'm moving a variable, so I'm moving the whole thing. Same like when you divide and a number off of the variable. You're taking everything. I'm moving 3y to the other side of this equation, getting the variable on my side. Cancel. Over here, 5y minus 3y, 2y minus 8 equals 12. Then from there, two-step equation. Add 8, add 8. Y equals 20. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals 10. Should not be hard for y'all. Alright, do number 7 and do number 8. You already did 7? Yeah. 8. Oh, you said yeah. Nancy, what you did got on number 7? Everybody got -1?
Yes.
I don't know the bank though. Dante, what you got on number 8?
8. -9.
Alright. If you didn't get those two answers on 7 and 8, you might want to rework your problem. That wasn't hard, but you should have been able to do number 9 easily too. I'm gonna run through that one though. Number 9, dispersing distribution. $18p minus 3 equals 11p minus 45. Then from there, get the variable on one side. I told you to always move my smaller one, but it's up to you. Oh, it's negative 45. Okay. Last two I need to show y'all. Cross multiplication. first one should be K for y'all. We've kind of been doing that since yesterday. It's the second one where y'all run into issues with. And the second one is the one y'all gonna see on the test and on the worksheet and stuff like that. Alright. Cross multiply, then you distribute if necessary, then you solve. First one, cross multiply. I always do my variable first, so whichever one points to my variable. So 3 times x is 3x. And then 4 times 6 is 24. And from there, you got equation 3x equals 24. Divided by 3, divided by 3, x equals 8. That's an 8. Okay. That's not my best 8. Alright, so that's easy. Number 11 is the one I need you to get right when you get it on test. So you cross multiplying, but you see you have 2 expressions on this fraction over here. It's 2k plus 3 divided by k plus 9. When you cross multiply, because you can, because you got 2 fractions set equal to each other. You can always cross multiply when that's the case. So cross multiply, and no matter which one you go with, I'll do k plus 9 times 3, so that should be written as 3, then in parentheses k plus 9 equals, and then over here, 5 times 2k plus 3. Once you get to that point, it should look familiar. Distribution. Distribute. $3K plus 27 equals, here you got 10K plus 15. Then after that, get the variable on one side of the equation. Like I say, if I can, I always move my smaller one. There'll only be certain cases where you can't move the smaller one. If it's on the variable is on the same on that side of the equation, but in this case I can. 3K plus 27 equals 7K plus 15. And after that, 2-step. That's 12 equals 7K. And then from there, divide by 7, divide by 7. 12 over 7. It's going to give you a decimal, but not write a decimal down. Keep it in that form. I can't reduce that. Some of y'all freak out when y'all get to that point thinking y'all did the equation, did it wrong because it's a fraction. No, some of your answers will be fractions. You should be confident in the work that you do. If you did your work right, believe in your answer. Roll with it.